Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another week of Hotfix Speedruns. I'm your host, Regal. I'll be hosting Game Over tonight. Game Over is a show where we like to put on speedruns of games that are either known for their difficulty or they're being played on a higher difficulty level than normal. Tonight, we have two really cool runs from two really great runners. The first one that we're going to have up is another Dark Souls run. From another Brazilian runner. If you're here from our last show, we had two Dark Souls runs, both of them from runners from Brazil. Well, we have a third one in a row tonight, so I'm excited for that. The triple, if you could say, it's going to be All Bosses by Marionette, running one of the coolest speedrun routes I've ever seen. One of the coolest routes I've ever done. It's going to be the Bluetooth route for Prepare to Die edition. I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for Mario to show it because Mario doesn't do a lot of marathon runs, so it's a real treat to have him on for with us tonight. And then after that, we're going to have Visuals doing a run of a Metroidvania that was recently released last year called Bow, Path of the Teal Lotus. It's going to be an any percent no major glitches run, so look forward to that after the Dark Souls run. But first, we have Mario running Dark Souls. Take it away for us, Mario.
Hello, everybody. It's me, your third Brazilian Marionette, or Mario, as you prefer. Like Regal said, I'm going to be running Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition, the 2011 version of the game, and not the remaster. Very different game in terms of speedrunning. And I'm very excited to do this run. Thank you, Regal, for inviting me. This route means a lot to me. Me and Regal have a lot of history with it.
Yeah.
And I think it's fitting that I'm showing and running this for the first time in his show.
This is literally the coolest Dark Souls speedrun that exists, in my opinion. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, I love it too. And we're gonna get right into it. Any questions that you guys ask, I might catch a glance at it while I'm running, but if I don't, I'm sure Regal will gonna relay them to me. So feel free to ask questions. I'll do my best to respond to them. And we're gonna get started right away with the character creation. The timer shouldn't start yet. There are a couple of things that we're gonna do right from the start, like the beginning of the game. Mainly running as a male because there is a little bit of a speed acceleration trick that works better with the male character. Pyromancer for a variety of reasons that we're gonna get to better into the run. And Black Fire Bombs to kill the first boss and then toss some at Hydra. The rest is entirely arbitrary. And the timer should start, and I hit OK, and we're gonna start the run. I'm gonna do a countdown of 3, 2, 1, and let's go.
Good luck.
Thank you. So right away, if you know this game, the first boss is right up here. You normally run past him, but I have the means to kill him now, so I'm gonna do just that. And right here, you're already seeing me do a little bit of a trick by switching my weapons. That is the reason why we choose the male character, is that when you do an animation cancel with the upper body, your character starts accelerating faster and he hits top speed faster. And here I'm gonna set up my mouse for a trick. I'm gonna do 3 rolls here to get myself into position to kill the Asylum Demon. I'm gonna toss a bomb right here. 1, 2, 3. He's doing an attack. 2 more bombs and he's dead. That is the first out of 26 bosses. This run is going to include the DLC. And I have 5 bombs left, so I'm gonna use those bombs in Hydra, which is not a boss, but it's part of the run, because I need to kill it to free Hydra, to free Dusk, which is an NPC that's going to give me access to the DLC. Right here, I'm going to do some menuing, setting up stuff for later. I'm gonna do a quit out here. Quit outs are very useful in this game. They don't not only get rid of enemy aggro in the majority of cases, but they also allows us to do a lot of things. For example, our stand-up animation breaks that wall, so we don't need to wait for this boulder here. In fact, I'm going to wait here for it to go past. And we're going to be using quit outs a lot for multiple reasons. Here I'm going to pick up the Pyromancy Flame. Wait for this guy to move. Okay, they were nice to me. That's good. Normally here we would do a quit out to skip this big door animation, but I'm not going to do that just because it's RTA.
So how much would you say that running past all the different like annoying enemies in this game, how difficult would you say that is on a each run basis?
There are levels to it. Like, for example, the upcoming area is notoriously annoying. Which a lot of people seem to think that because it's early game, we are just gonna blow past it. That it couldn't be further from the truth. There is a lot of enemies here that could either deal damage to me or jump at me, and to save a little bit of time, I would do a toggle escape, which would still deal damage to me, but I wouldn't be stopped altogether. But if enough enemies do damage to me, I die. So it's pretty...
Oh, really?
It can get pretty bad.
You don't say.
Yeah. Here we're gonna be encountering the Drake. We're gonna block and toggle. It's a little bit slower than usual. Oh, see, that guy wanted me. But now we're gonna do some shopping and some glitching.
Ooh, already.
Gonna buy 4 knives. Gonna buy the Ringforce Club, the bow, and we did a glitch there to get the rapier for a lower amount of souls that it is sold for. That is called the prompt swap shopping, and it's used for that exact reason. I'm gonna do a little bit of a skip here. Grab this ring that does not do anything good for me, except set up a glitch later. And his better cousin, the red tearstone ring, is not going to be used in this route in his usual form. I wonder what that means.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, no spoilers. Here we're going to be trying to show a cool trick. And trying is the keyword here, because it can go wrong. Let's see. Heal. Row. Backstep. Okay. I did my part. Thank you very much.
Nice. I think that worked. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that's a specific set of actions to time the exact moment Taurus jumps off. If he does the jump, obviously, he can give a different RNG. But yeah, that was found by Androv, as many things in this game have.
We should keep a running list of that was found by Androv,
Yeah.
this was found by Androv.
You can probably guess it was found by either Androv and Kamul. Here we're going to be trying to get the Drake Sword. This part can be a little bit tricky. I'm hoping I don't mess this up. Looks good. Okay. I got the fast RNG. There we go, very nice.
That is a very dangerous part of the run. If that goes wrong, like, would you load a save file there?
I would, yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Good thing it worked.
I did the wrong setup.
It might still work.
I think it does.
Nice. So why are you toggling your things like this, and why aren't the enemies moving more? You know.
So, I'm gonna have to do it again. So I'm gonna consider it real quick.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine.
So here I'm going to do that trick again. It basically makes me invisible to enemies because I'm toggling at a specific frame where it deloads my character from their target list. So I'm going to be doing this again right here. Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
That is bad. Okay, I'm going to try and... Okay, that's pretty bad.
I've had that
guys.
happen to me before too.
Remember when I said I was going to load a save file?
Yeah.
If the Drake went badly?
That's okay.
You excuse me.
There's a lot of really dangerous things in this run.
Yeah.
As someone that has run this a lot, that there's not a lot of great backups for. And this would take a long time to get back.
Yeah. So let's try this again and hopefully actually lock on to the enemy.
I guess you did have the elevator though.
Thank you, Miyazaki. So yeah, like I was saying, my character is basically deloaded from the enemy target list when I do a toggle in a specific frame. And here I'm doing the most important glitch of the run very casually, but I failed it real quick. And here I'm gonna be trying to line up a bomb throw. So it cuts the gargoyle tail. Let's see. Perfect.
Nice. Nice.
And yeah, the Drake Sword is very powerful at the beginning of the game. It falls off pretty quickly. I'm going to heal here and time a quit out. So my character is put at the start of the fight at the arena. And I got a halberd, so I'm going to have to do some menuing to prevent annoyances later on.
We're back on track.
Yeah.
I always say you're required to have one death, one game over for my show. Hence
Well,
the
then
name.
I'm on track.
Yeah, exactly.
So there I was using a trick that I'm going to be using and abusing throughout this run called the move swap. And move swap allows me to transfer the moveset of part of the moveset of the right hand weapon that I'm wielding to the left hand weapon that I choose to move swap it to. And this is Sense Gate Skip. I think by now it's one of the most popular skips in Dark Souls speedrunning. It does, as the name suggests, it lets me skip Sense Fortress Gate without ringing the two bells. As you could probably tell, I quit out before ringing the bell for gargoyles. And I am not going to ring the bell for Quelag either. Here I use my mouse to do the level up a little quicker. And this trick is pretty cool. It puts your character in complete tank control, so I'm using the keyboard to move forward. Because that's consistent, I just hold W. And here I'm going to do a jump, I'm going to quit out, and I'm going to be inside Sense Fortress. Okay, I saw someone asking in chat, no bell? No, we're not going to be ringing any bells. Because we have means to get into the kill of the first flame. Even normally, you don't need to ring the bells if you place the Lord Vessel with Koth, which is one of the snakes in this game. But you would need to do a different route. But yeah, we're not going to need that.
It's actually very complicated explanation as to why we are finally not actually ringing the bells in all bosses.
Yeah.
Like it takes a lot of explaining.
It's decently convoluted.
And it doesn't just come down to, oh, you don't need to ring the bells to get into Sense Fortress. It's like more than that.
Yeah. But speaking of Sense Fortress, very infamous area for the casual player, probably. But for speedrunners, everything is in a cycle, so we take full advantage of that. I'm doing that with the quit out here to set up the next set of pendulums to be at a good position for me to just run through it. Here we go. So yeah,
so
Sense
like,
Fortress, generally pretty chill to run through.
How many like things in this game that you do as a speedrunner that you think like a casual player could pick up and learn pretty quickly? Would you say like maybe running through Sense Fortress is one of them?
Yeah, Sense Fortress, there is a trick to kill Bed of Chaos that I'm also going to be doing in this run that is extremely nice quality of life, even if you do a lot of playthroughs of this game. There's lower on Deadberg skip, I would say. There are like multiple iterations. You can pick and choose which one you feel like is the easiest.
Even Sin's Gate skip is not that bad. There's a lot of cool tricks in this game that you'd be surprised how easy it is to do with just a little bit of practice on your own. There's definitely some hard
duping
stuff
as well if you are up to some mischief and glitches.
Which we'll see some of that soon as well.
Oh, you have a gentleman Bob in a marathon? That's crazy.
Wow.
That guy's name is Bob, by the way. It's in his register. Iron Golem, one of the most technical fights in this run. Surprisingly, for an early game boss, we have to deal 400 damage to his lower, below his knees. And nice. I just did that. Perfect fight. And 200 more for him to be knocked out. And he is dead.
Yeah, it's really nice that the developers put that kill in, because it allows you to just have way less damage whenever you get here than you would normally need.
Yeah. So here I'm doing some menuing. I need to check if my item bar menu is order is correct, because I messed up move swap in before gargoyles, and that might be messed up too.
Are you okay with me reading off a few announcements while you're going through Anor Londo, or do you need to listen?
Sweet.
Okay, cool. So, Games Done Quick is hiring. If you love creative work and have experience in planning and organizing, apply to be a prize assistant at our mainline events. Visit gamesdonequick.com/jobs by May 11th to apply. Also, Summer Games Done Quick 2025 will be live in Minneapolis from July 6th to the 13th. Register to attend the event by May 26th. Use !SGDQ in Twitch chat or visit gdq.gg/games to check out the games list. And back to you, Mario.
I'm going to be trying a jump here, if that guy lets me. Okay, thank you. He couldn't decide what he was gonna do, man.
Sometimes he'd be like that.
Weirdo. Yeah, that's a little jump that saves like about a second or so.
I feel like whenever I do runs of this, a lot of people are really impressed with the rafters section. That's another thing that isn't nearly as hard as it really looks as well.
Yeah, one thing that I say a lot to new runners is that movement in this game, at least and I believe a lot of top runners also do, I move mostly with my camera stick rather than the movement analog stick. Because I feel like the micro corrections you can do to the camera are more precise than the movements you do, like with wobbly movement like this, for example. You can just like slightly twitch the camera analog stick, and I feel like that yields way better results.
Yeah, this game is very difficult to run in a straight line, but you can kind of do your best to mitigate it through camera control, really.
And then you might say, just run on keyboard.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this game's keyboard and mouse controls. And they're bad. They're pretty bad.
That's all there is to it, really. Though it was mostly the mouse controls are quite bad.
Yeah.
It's a lot better on the remaster.
All the movement with the camera on keyboard only is really tough.
Oh, yeah. That was an interesting quit out you did there, Marionette.
Yeah, I'm doing that to leave the elevator down, because I'm going to be going up to Priscilla later. And it saves about 13 seconds to leave it, do that quit out and reset the elevator to its position that it was before, rather than waiting for it again. Because unlike Dark Souls 3, we can't just quit out on that elevator and pull it back up.
It's also a very funny segment.
Yeah. So yeah, here that's the most egregious version of the toggling AI break. Yeah, I don't like this guy, so I'm gonna push him off. That's a pretty cool new strat that we've implemented in the run. And I'm gonna be up against some dudes soon. Man, you don't have any idea how many times I forgot to take this bonfire when doing practice runs for this. So I have an idea. I'm glad.
I totally understand. Like, trying to practice for marathon runs and forgetting to take that bonfire. And then you kill them. You're like, oh man,
I didn't even need it.
Yeah, I'm glad that I killed them because that would have been really bad if I didn't.
Yeah.
Did you take the Anorlando bonfire? Did you take the Anorlando bonfire? Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That would have been really bad.
That's a no bueno. Well, as I said, we're gonna be up against some dudes, some pair of guys.
And you just got a new weapon as well.
I did get a new weapon. That is very important for the rest of this run, huh? It's the Dragon Tooth. And it's very strong, but it's especially strong with move swap because it's a very big and slow weapon, but we're gonna make it big and fast weapon. And I'm going to be doing my best to show why here. I'm a little worried about Smo here. Okay. So, one of the big reasons why it's so strong is because it staggered bosses like you are seeing right now. You still have to be careful because there's a lot of variance still to this fight, even with the AI break that I performed. For example, that. He likes being funny. And now that he's on the big stage, he wanted to have a little bit of it.
He's showing off for the crowd.
Okay, my menu is correct. So yeah, move swap is very strong. The Dragon Tooth becomes extremely strong with it. We're going to be upgrading it to max upgrade level. We're going to be using Red Tear Stone Ring. We're going to be dealing a lot of damage by the end of this run. We killed Guinevere here because talking to her is extremely slow. And we're going to be duping the soul and duping the bone to get out of here. To be getting back to the bonfire, I'm going to warp to Dark Moon Tomb because I'm going to want to go to Priscilla after Stray Demon. I dropped some things from my inventory that I'm not going to need. And here I'm going to warp again to Firelink.
The extra warp whenever you're doing marathon runs because of that bonfire is so comfy. Just get to easily drop your stuff.
Yeah. Here I'm going to be trying to do animation cancel with a very well-timed menu overlap that is decently difficult. Let's see. I didn't get it. Damn it. It doesn't save that much time, but it does skip the spraying animation that you get from joining his covenant. And I'm joining his covenant because I want things that he sells. And I bought the Homeward spell and a talisman. I'm going to be using that to perform a wrong warp later on in the run, which is pretty tough to do. It's a double frame perfect glitch. But it's one of those glitches that they are tough to pull off, but they're not gonna kill you, you know, so you can retry it as much as you want, kinda. Okay, here you have to count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I messed up.
You did it way too early.
I thought I didn't count one of the things. Well, now I look like a fool.
Why is
I'm not going to count anymore. Well, I was counting because I was going to quit out when the cutscene played, and it would skip the cutscene for me and save like 3 seconds. But now, I am egging here, waiting for the cutscene, like the fool I am. But I'm gonna quit out anyway because there is another AI break here that I used to just go on a straight line, and that's way better than just be waiting for those guys. So I'm supposed to equip the thing here. Okay, yeah. What was you gonna say?
So normally you like pair the quit out for the cutscene with this quit out here, so you only have to do one.
Yeah.
Mario quit out a little too early on accident to skip the cutscene.
Yeah, I miscounted when I started the animation. Well, rather, miscounted. Okay, this is a good opener from this guy. A very RNG heavy fight right here. We had a guest there, a visitor. So yeah, this guy, we're at the part of the run where it really starts being RNG heavy, where it makes and breaks runs. So if you get a good segment on this guy, Priscilla, and then you carry that over to the DLC, you can have a pretty sick pace going on. But that really doesn't happen often, which is a shame. And yeah, that's another boss down. Street Demon is fairly straightforward, but depending on his RNG, he would just waste a lot of time. And that's the time we go back to the asylum. I got the peculiar doll that lets me touch the painting, because I'm going to Painted World now.
Yeah, so why do you do Stray so early instead of waiting for later when maybe you're stronger? Because Stray seemed like a pretty chunky boy there.
He is pretty chunky, and I don't deal a lot of damage. However, there is an item in the Painted World that is going to be extremely useful, and it's really funny that it is useful, because it's a PvP item. And I'm going to do magic tricks, aka glitches, to transform it into the blue Tearstone ring prettier cousin, the red Tearstone ring. Because funnily enough, they share the same ID, and via a glitch, I'm going to equip the red sign soapstone into the ring slot, and the game is going to think I own the red Tearstone ring, and that's what is in my ring slot. Which is extremely funny, and I like to think that happened just because both are red.
Yeah, both have red and stone in them, so,
yes.
you know, close
That's
enough.
true. I didn't even notice the stone all these years there.
I know.
It's right under my nose. Zero is pretty dangerous, this room in particular. Okay, there could have been a little bit of quick dodging that I had to do, and now I have to deal with birds.
This is there's some cool like enemy pathing in this area, I gotta say.
Yeah, I managed to figure out the path. I even did it there, like the pathing for the first hollow if he jumps.
Yeah, I saw that. It was I've never seen that pathing before. That was
yeah,
cool.
I was labbing one day just for fun.
I was like, whoa, this looks bad. Oh, that worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, I got the red sign soapstone. Dodged all the birds, and I also did a fall damage cancel. We're going to be canceling a lot of fall damage in this run via multiple methods. That one I did was a plunge delayed arrow, which is a lot of words. A delayed roll is a way to do a roll mid-air. An arrow, rather, is a way to do a roll mid-air, and it literally dodges, you roll the fall damage. Because you have iframes during your fall damage, your rolling animation, and that does dodge even the fall. And let's see what Priscilla has for me. She has a lot of RNG. Oh, she wants to show off.
Yeah. Oh, that. Okay. I hate
She really
when
wants to
does
show
that.
off.
Yeah. You thought you were getting a good fight.
Little did you know. But yeah, those are both two pretty bad attacks. But
Good spawn location.
Yeah. Okay, gotta be very careful here because I can't go past 38
This
endurance.
is a very complicated part.
Yeah, I honestly,
Just
if you want to try to explain, I'm gonna do a lot of shopping. I'm gonna do a lot of menuing. For example, I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna pretend to drop them to. I didn't.
Oh, almost.
Yeah, no, that doesn't. At least I don't trigger him. Menuing was a little scuffed because I lost track of what I was doing.
Yeah.
Because of prompt swap.
I have seen another runner in a race do that in aggro Andre.
I've also seen that.
Yeah. That was almost a situation right there. So this is all like the intense menuing section to just turn the ring into the ring. And there it is.
Yeah, now I have a fake red tearstone ring crafted from red sign soapstone that I picked up in the painted world, and that is mainly the reason why
It
we
is
go to
so
Priscilla
hard
so early.
to explain what you even just did there without having to deal with the fact that you almost just killed your run.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that would have thrown me off of my explanation as well. Like you have to buy a bunch of stuff from Andre and store different stuff in your menu and
Yeah, and then this guy weighs 999 times its weight because I brought 999 and then I clicked it again to try to buy it, and then it stored a negative quantity in my game memory, and then I'm gonna use that quantity to do a dupe on the upgrade. It's crazy, you know? It's like this game is held up by hopes and dreams when it comes to coding. You get used to it over the years. You get numb to it.
Marionette did a magic trick. Now he has a special ring on that normally you have to go to a different place to equip it. Save some time. And now the ring's active.
Here I'm going to be doing another fall damage cancel. A little bit different than the on from Fainted World. This is Hydra. I'm going to kill it. But it's not a boss.
True.
And if you tell me to go to Ash Lake to kill the Hydra there, I'm going to ban you.
So why are you killing this enemy if it's not a boss, Marionette?
So killing this enemy gives you access to an NPC that is going to give me access to the DLC, which has bosses, so I have to go there. Unfortunately, because I hate the DLC. Okay, see, that's the minus 998 in my inventory. I just dropped the quantity, so it added to my inventory. Minus times minus equals plus. And here I'm going to kill a golem that Dusk is inside. And I'm also going to kill her.
So you're rescuing the princess.
And killing her.
And then
so I need her money.
You're rescuing her from her body.
I'm rescuing her from this cruel world. But I really do need to kill her because I have the exact amount of souls to level my weapon to +2. And that's enough to kill Seath, next boss, with 3 running attacks. And I also had to kill the trees on the way to the hidden bonfire because I actually need their souls.
Yeah.
And it's a miracle that the souls work out that way in the segment so perfectly.
Actually such a cool segment.
Yeah. I feel like... a Hydra also gives me Dusk Crown Ring, which is extremely important to set up multiple things in the multiple Red Tearstone Ring setups in the run, which I'm going to be calling RTSR for short. Here we're going to be doing a very cool skip. Because if you've been watching from the beginning, you noticed that I didn't ring the bell for Gargoyle. And I haven't even gone close to Quelag yet to ring her bell. What gives? What do you mean you're going to Seath? Isn't there a golden fog gate here? Yeah.
There is.
I'm gonna go past it. Not now because I failed that. I'm gonna go do that again. This jump is really annoying. It's by far the worst part of the skip. Maybe not getting back in bounds is more annoying than that. Okay, so we get to do this all again.
I think that jump is the worst part.
Really?
So, why? Can you explain, like, maybe why you're zoomed in with the bow here? Is this like a texture setups or what's going on?
Yeah, so I'm looking at specifically a couple spots here to know where to roll towards. And zooming in with the bow locks your character into rolling into 4 directions only. So that is way better to normalize movement. And I'm also aiming all the way down, so I don't have to aim in another axis. I restrict my movement just horizontally. So it's one way that we came up to make this skip a little bit more consistent. And I also do a stored jump there, so I can jump at a specific spot in the ceiling there and clip through it. And I'm inside of Duke's Archives, and I hope this guy doesn't kill me.
And like,
very bad.
Just to let people know, that part where he was zoomed in with the bow, that's like a single like pixel wide seam. That is like, if you go in the wrong direction, left or right, you just fall off. So that's another reason why you just really need to be very precise about your movement.
Yeah. I also have to kill this golem because he gives me the key item to access the DLC, the Broken Pendant. Here I'm going to be doing some specific pathing to avoid, to the best of my ability, getting hit by these guys because they hurt a lot. And here we're going to be doing a pretty cool skip again. We're going to set up a up warp into a series of air rolls. Here I'm going to be using my bow to aim once again.
Yeah, there's a lot of bow setups in this run.
Yeah, and here's are the air rolls. Another instance of the arrows, because now I did them with equip load, and not just with a plunge, the fall damage cancel or the delayed plunge. Also, since we've ripped the band-aid off with the save files, I'm gonna do slope quit out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Very rare slope quit out in a marathon run.
That's cool. Just because we've ripped the band-aid off.
Yeah. This run's
if not, I would have asked you if that was a...
No, it's cool.
A wise decision. But I think it's cool to show things off. And if I can show this off, I think I should. So I'm going to be doing a very precise jump into a very precise quit out, hopefully. That will skip a lot of running around. And it consists of jumping at the tip of this big crystal and landing in a slope. Let's see. Okay, nice jump.
Pretty good. Yeah.
I died.
Oh.
God damn it. I messed up the quit out.
Quit out a little late.
Kind of washed at this skip, bros. I'm not gonna lie.
That was a good jump.
That was a really good jump.
If you die there, it is like really one of the worst possible places to die.
Easily.
Yeah.
So yeah, here I am again, magically alive again. Let's see. Another good jump. That should be good.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully not too early, but I think
there is a possibility, but cool. Here we are.
Yeah.
So yeah, that skips about 15 seconds of running around. Very, very nice. To pull off, it's a lot of time save, but it's pretty hard to get really good at. I had a spell a bit ago that I hadn't missed that skip in ages, but I haven't been doing as many runs lately, so I'm a bit washed. My bad. Here there's some specific pathing to avoid as much as possible to get a clam inside of this fight, because they can get in. I'm gonna shoot the crystal, move swap, and kill this guy with 3 taps. Hopefully no clam is hiding inside of him, because that does happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna say something, Rigo?
Oh, I was just gonna say that skip is like very, like, I don't know, it's like feel based a lot. And if you get a little rusty at it, or you're just a little off on it with your like muscle memory for it, it can really make it you just like will barely miss it like constantly over and over until you fix it.
Yeah. Here's another AI cancel, arguably the biggest one, because this boss is really annoying otherwise. Extremely RNG heavy. And you see that all of these have different movement setups that I have to commit to either memory or muscle memory. So yeah, this saves 15 seconds over the best possible Gwendolyn normal RNG. And God knows how much time it saves against the worst possible Gwendolyn RNG.
I mean, infinite. I guess technically infinite.
Pretty much.
So here's a question I have for the AFK strats. Why do you not just simply use those toggle strats everywhere to just turn off all of the AI of the enemies? Could you explain that for us?
Yeah, it's not convenient a lot of the time to be running around while toggling. It's only really viable in like it's straight lines and like not that parkour-ish segments. The timing for to be deloaded is pretty tight. Holy, I rolled very early there. You also very likely will lose time because you need, for a consistent setup, you need to quit out. So every time you would want to run through an area, you would want to quit out.
Yeah.
So that's very not convenient.
You can just run past the enemies normally a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And you'll also the bosses, as soon as you touch them, they immediately wake up. So
yeah,
like.
And also, there aren't very good setups for every single boss. Some are straight up impossible.
It's like a really powerful tool, but it's not. It's like
universal.
Just restrictive. It's just restrictive enough you don't use it like everywhere, so you don't cheese the whole run.
Yeah. This guy is a jerk. Never mind, he's cool.
That's perfect.
Another one trying to show off, dude. Yeah. Well, when he does that, he's cool, but he's normally a jerk. I managed to one-shot him there because that attack gets him into he's prone to being counter-hit, so like I counter-hit him and one-shot him. Yeah. Instability, yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Do a little bit of extra damage.
Yeah. But yeah, he is a big time waster if he wants to. That's the reason I dislike the DLC in this run. It's very... The skill ceiling is very high, but you get screwed over very easily. Is the main thing.
It can be very fast if you get good RNG.
Yeah. And here I'm doing it once again because this is a really annoying segment. And even before we understood the toggles fully to utilize them to our advantage, we already quit out there, but we went to the other side. Yeah. So yeah, there I did another fall damage cancel. Here I'm going to be doing some shopping with Bloodborne guy. I bought Blossoms that help me replenish my stamina faster. I bought Homeward Bone because I used mine. And some bombs for Bed of Chaos. That's completely messed up my menuing, so let me redo that real quick. Wait for him to scream because I messed up. There we go. So yeah, Artorias is another one of the DLC bosses where he can waste your time. Doesn't matter how well you play. If you play to the best of your ability, you could lose up to 6 seconds to him. Very annoying. Speaking of annoying, Calamite. Arguably the hardest strat in this run? I'm not sure as much anymore. Back when me and Regal started running this, it was for sure the hardest.
Yes.
But nowadays, we have both a lot of experience and now resources that we've made for new people to learn.
Figuring this out took a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of labbing. But basically, we don't need Goth. You know, we have a big weapon. you have big dreams. We can do this ourselves. So let me line up here. Looks good. I just have to time and attack properly. Perfect.
Nice. That's the hardest part.
Yeah. So I hit his tail because his tail extends far past the texture when he's doing this specific attack. And now I'm going to do 4 toggles here. I'm gonna set up my camera so I can look at the health bar. There we go. I messed up the camera movement a little bit there. That was kind of scary. I'm gonna run to a specific spot here. I'm gonna stop. I'm going to backstep and attack his tail again. So that's 4 hits on Calamite. He dies in 6. So there is another cycle to go through here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exact same deal. Health bar came back. I'm going back to my spot. Stop. Backstep R1. And he's done.
Nice. Very well done. That is not easy to do. Perfect. Didn't miss any hits.
Yeah.
And missing a hit loses a lot of time.
Yeah, if you lose, if you don't get a 3 cycle, you lose 30 seconds. Yeah. Straight up.
We were talking about that before, like the counting the cycles with the shrugs and how much better it is. Like that, I think that HP bar glitch is like super underrated. How useful
it's crazy. And you saw that I got the souls and the calamity ring, which means he is dead for good. You don't need to report me for quitting out and not actually killing the boss. He gets a small different animation by dying midair. That might be hard to see on the stream, but I quit out when I start seeing that animation, and that ensures me that he is gone. Here I'm going to be setting up another fall damage cancel. This one's pretty cool. Township skip. I'm going to be going straight down to Menace's arena or area, more or less, and I'm going to be fighting him. Aside from messing up my menuing on Artorias' Bogate, this hasn't gone bad at all.
Yeah, I say we're on okay pace. You're going to be about the 45 minutes after the DLC, around that much.
Yeah, I'm going to kill Manus, and then I believe we'll have a scheduled break.
That's right. Yep. Let's see this Manus fight.
Yeah, Manus, another big time potential time waster. He... Oh, Lord.
Oh, no.
I'm going to just use it here. Yeah, I got a sword roll there. Sword rolls are very annoying. Let's see what he does here. So here I can punish him with 2 hit with a running attack. I was too far away. Okay, here I can punish him. Let's see if I can get a cool fight. No, I can't.
No. It's a very, very cool and skill-intensive fight, but it can also just be super random at the same time, which kind of kills my enjoyment of it.
Speaking of time wasting.
Yeah, he's putting on a show for the crowd. Nice. That
bro said, "Mom, I'm on TV."
Other than that, that was a pretty good DLC.
Yeah. So I believe we are going on break.
Yeah, so everyone, we are going to go on a scheduled break. We'll be back in about like 6 minutes or so. So if you want to go take care of yourself, get up, use the bathroom, get yourself a drink or a snack, now's a good time. But we'll be back after just a few short minutes and Mario can continue this really, really cool speedrun. So stick around. We'll be right back, okay? Hey y'all, welcome back. We are ready to get this run started back again. Mario just cleared out all the DLC bosses in this really, really cool Dark Souls All Bosses run. Mario, you want to take it away and get us back in?
Yes, we're going to be going right back in to kill Butterfly and clear the rest of the game, really. Butterfly in particular is a really, really cool strat that I hope you will enjoy. I'm not even going to talk about it, man. It's just a
let it
show
happen.
on its own.
Yeah. Just let it happen.
I'm taking this path because it lets me set up Redstone Ring. I don't even know if it's faster.
It's not. It's slower.
Yeah,
the
but
fact that it sets up your HP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set up our HP very nicely. I mentioned earlier that the Dusk Crown Ring would be really important for these setups, and that's exactly where it comes in.
Very precarious HP, I'd say.
Yeah, very dangerous if you get a start roll there and that frog,
The frog.
tries licking you. Okay, check this out. And before I miss. There we go.
Cool.
Pretty cool, huh?
What
Yeah, it's
happened? What'd you do?
Awesome
How did he
kill.
die? The boss just died.
I move swapped my Dragon Tooth with a pike, and instead of having a more spaced out double hit, it has a very close together double hit. So that allows me to hit Butterfly very quickly on its wing while he's flying, and I can just kill it like that. And that is one of the most awesome tricks in this run. And it actually opens the possibility of doing this route without duping bombs, for example, or without magic. It's just awesome.
I heard it explained like this, like the rapier's like ba ba, but the pike's like ba ba. So it's just like a little bit faster.
I guess, yeah.
A little bit faster of a hitbox, so you can get both hits in on the wing at the same time.
I can't say I've heard it being described like that, but I'm glad I did now. Okay, here we're gonna quit out because it makes Sif turn around, and we can pick up the Hornet Ring, and it also set up a pretty cool kill. Hopefully I can get it.
This is like just a huge boss rush at the end. It like skips and bosses just like back to back to back.
Pretty much. So here he turns around, I pick this bad boy up.
Interesting.
Yeah, the second jump is unfortunate, but he would die in 2 hits otherwise. Not a big Sif fan. If you're a Sif fan, we might have a problem. All due respect. And here, ladies and gentlemen,
it's very sad.
We are going to Firelink because we're finally gonna say hi to Quelag, but in an
really
unconventional way.
It's a little late to be fighting Quelag.
It is very late, yes. But we're gonna be arriving there with style. And it's honestly, this upcoming skip is a miracle that stuff like that even exists, because there's so much that goes into it. There are so many different glitches that go into it. It's pretty crazy. It's extremely hard to explain everything in a concise way in the short time that I'm doing it. But I'm going to be doing a transition clip here. It's going to make me clip through the wall because one area loads and the other doesn't, and I'm going to be falling, and I'm going to be able to quit out and cancel fall damage once again, like this. Is that a slide?
Wow. First slide.
Hold up. Am I gonna have a never have dead this before moment at
this has
GDQ?
never happened before.
No.
Okay. Yeah. You're fine.
Not bad.
All right.
And yeah, more precise aiming, precise running on a 1 pixel wide seam. Just an insane skip that is pretty difficult to pull off. I was mentioning this the other day. Oh. Got lucky. But yeah, arrived in front of Quelag with a lot of style. That is Blighttown skip, ladies and gentlemen. One of the coolest, best feelings to pull off in a run, fast skip, is that. It's been, I think, how many years since it's been discovered?
I think it was found in 2018.
7 now?
I think 7 years old now.
Yeah, the first iteration, I think. The current iteration that we did, it took a lot more labbing, but it's the most awesome skip.
And then you come into another really awesome skip here.
Another awesome skip.
Just back-to-back bangers.
Yeah. This one's discovered by Kamo. And a little bit of a personal anecdote. This skip played a huge role on the fact that I speedrun Dark Souls 1 today.
Me too, actually. I started running because of this skip.
A double hit? At GDQ? Don't mind if I do. There you go.
Nice.
That's Fire Sage, guys. So that skip was found a little bit after I started running, and there was a very annoying skip to learn at the time called Ceaseless Skip that I just couldn't do because I was new and didn't know better. And this was the wrong warp. There's too much going on.
Yeah,
give me
it's a lot.
A minute
it's
here.
A lot. Another banger. Like I said, this whole section is just like boss rush
It's
from
crazy,
skip to
man.
skip to skip to boss. Like it's so
Yeah, and these
it's
guys
intense.
are not being nice to me. I hope I don't get Dark Souls 2 here. Okay, no Dark Souls 2.
Dark Souls 2 was last week.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I say don't get Dark Souls 2 there because in Dark Souls 2 you can get interrupted while you are interacting with a fog gate. And this guy right there, there are a couple of them in the back, and they have a grab attack that actually has priority over the fog gate animation.
Yeah.
And I called that getting Dark Souls 2'd. And here another transition clip. We're going to do a lot more. After this, we're going to have a section where this is a little bit more chill and we can try and explain some of the things that I did, namely the wrong warp, because we're going to do it again. But here we're going to go into the Gaping Dragon by another unconventional path. You probably noticed the most annoying skip in the game, that if I could delete any skip from this game, it would be this one, because of that jump. That jump is extremely unreliable.
I actually hate that jump more, which is weird.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Most people don't feel that way.
Weird.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and Gaping Dragon was nice. He can also be a bit of a time waster if he doesn't do that head slam that lets you just kill him like that without much of a fight. We're gonna go into Centipede here. Do another fall damage cancel here.
Nice.
And Centipede's decently straightforward. We set up our TSR using the lava and then kill it with a running attack. Then we iframe. I forgot to set up the ring. That's okay. Okay, so we're gonna be trying to roll this, but if we get hit, it's not really a big deal. Take lava damage, so we set up the ring. And with 2 running attacks, we'll kill Centipede. We have a max upgraded weapon with our TSR, so you probably realize that we are dealing a lot of damage.
I was about to say, can you like explain maybe like all the different reasons why you're dealing so much damage to all the bosses?
Yeah, for one, I'm using a move swapped big weapon. The Dragon Tooth normally would not move this fast. So I have a lot of DPS, like raw DPS. I deal a lot of damage with those 2 ticks that come from the rapier.
Yeah, it's a double hit.
Yeah, it's a double hit, so it essentially doubles the damage of the Dragon Tooth on its own. The running attack deals more damage than the usual R1 attack. The Red Tear Stone Ring doubles my damage. And that's pretty much it. It's just a lot of things that combine and let me do a lot of damage.
Yeah. Do you mind if I get some announcements in while you're running through this
Go on.
Okay. All right. Join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role, where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. Use !Discord and Twitch chat for more info. Also, if you missed out on any of our Hotfix shows or past events, you can visit and subscribe at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. And back to you. are you?
Did you see what that dragon man's almost
No,
did to me?
what did he do? Did he try to jump on you
right
while
up.
you're...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That happens
Everyone's trying to get
sometimes.
funny for the big stage, man. What is this? Right here, we are going to do a strat we call Toki bombs, named after the runner Toki who found this strat. And it's basically going to allow us to very easily clear the Bed of Chaos boss. And it's one of the things that when Regal asked me what a casual player could take out of the speedrun, I would definitely say this is one of them, if not the most important one, quote-unquote important. I'm going to be setting up my menu here.
Little bit of practice, but a lot of payoff.
Yeah, it's very good. So I'm going to be standing at a specific spot. I'm going to aim with my bow, and I'm going to throw bombs at it. I'm going to stop sprinting by using a Blossom. I'm going to line up here. I'm going to throw one bomb. I'm going to line up here. I'm going to throw another bomb. And we are pretty much done. I just have to get a little lucky here. And we got lucky. And the Bed of Chaos is done. So yeah, that is an awesome strat. It doesn't take it's not super difficult to learn. And
one of the oldest strats in the run too.
Yeah, that too. Gonna save you a lot of headache doing one of the most annoying bosses in probably the entire FromSoft catalog. So here another rung warp, which I didn't really get the chance to explain properly when we first did it. But it is a way to send me to an area's default coordinates by interfering two methods of saving your character's position at the same time. So what I did there was use another glitch, Spell Swap, to use the Homeward Miracle without having the stats to use it by doing a Spell Swap trick, which is frame perfect, double frame perfect. And then I interacted with the bonfire while the game was trying to send me to another bonfire. So the game has a failsafe in case something like that happens, that it puts you at the area of your last bonfire's default coordinates, in which case for the area that I rested in last time, which was in front of Centipede, is right here next to or close-ish to Ceaseless Discharge. And we're going to be, we've already used that to get to Capra Demon faster, and we're going to do that to get to Killing the First Flame faster as well. So this is a very straightforward fight. We do a rolling attack, and then we do two running attacks, and this guy is history. We wait until he lays down to go to the big sleep, and we warp away. So we have 4 kings, Pinwheel, Nito, and Gwyn left. Take a little bit of a different path here, because it's a little bit faster. Set up my health a little bit nicely. Here I'm going to be using the very convenient Dust Crown Ring. Set up Red Tearstone Ring once again, and we're going to do a glitch called the Seal Skip, which skips having to drain the water in New Londo and getting the seal key and all of that. And it's a little bit precise. Let me see if I can get this first try with a running attack. Otherwise, it's no big. Unless I die, then it's a little bit annoying. Let's see here. Okay, didn't get it first try, but okay, should be good.
I've been doing glitchless runs, and man, I wish I could do this. It is so...
Have fun with Ingward.
So annoying to not
it is really
do
annoying.
Seal Skip. Oh my gosh.
So yeah. Yet another boss that we are gonna arrive at in an unconventional path. That is a little bit of a staple of speedruns, glitched speedruns of this game. Normally you cannot swim in water, but the power of speedrunning, you can do a lot of things that you're not supposed to. And here I'm going to be falling into the arena, and I'm going to be dropping the Drake Sword that served me really well in the early game to mark where the second king is going to spawn. And the light at the beginning, when I fall, is going to mark where the king is, despite me missing it.
Oh.
A little concerning there. There we go. So I'm equipping the talisman there, redoing move swap. And we can actually use the OST to know when the king is going to spawn. So let's do it. Now.
Yeah. This is where I always jam out to the song.
Yeah, that's good.
It's the most useful boss music.
Yeah. Even when I play while listening to my own music and I have the game music down, and I turn it up so I can know when it spawns. And here we have Serpent Man's Calf. And that's who we placed the Lord Vessel with. Oh, nice strong warp.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you don't want to say no to Kath.
Very bad if you do.
Yeah. Then Mario would have to actually go and ring all those bells.
No, Mario will a save file.
Okay, sure. We're not ringing any bells.
Hell no. It's a bellless run. So now we're going up against the 2 of the 3 last bosses, Pinwheel and Nito. Pretty cool running section in Tomb of the Giants. Let me see if this guy's gonna be annoying. He is not gonna be annoying. Lovely. So we just get through here without any light source because it's a pretty decently easy path. But now we're going to be skipping this lever pulling cutscene while also setting up a AI break here because I don't want to be interrupted by skeletons when I do a delayed air roll up here. Or this guy.
Yeah, it's usually
Pyromancer.
this dude.
I almost pressed Z too late. Ouchies. Took some bacon off my back. Here's Pinwheel. They had him fast because he's not gonna last too long. Say you missed your chance.
Hi, Pinwheel. Oh no!
Yeah, here, back with bow. Equip the Hornet Ring that I picked up during the Sif fight, because I'm going to be reposting the last boss with my Dragon Tooth. And yeah, here is Tomb of the Giants, a very cool path thing, with some parkour to top it off. Some jumps in the dark. For example, this one. That helps me set up my HP. Oh, is the Black Knight gonna die? No, I don't think so.
This is one of my favorite parts of the run because it's just
cool.
so satisfying to do this. Like I've done this pathing like a million times, and it just always feels good.
Yeah,
it's fun to practice.
You know, now real run, this upcoming part, extremely high stakes. Because you'll be doing a very precise AI break, and then you have to move swap in the fight. That is the most high pressure move swap in this speedrunning this game, probably. Very, very high stakes.
This is a really cool strat, though. Out of all the AFK AI cancels that you do in the run, this is like maybe the most useful one.
Yeah. So let me get this properly.
Gwendolyn's pretty good too, though.
Fast.
Nice. Ooh.
Sweet.
Very cool.
Nito is dead. And now we're going to wrong warp into the kill of the first flame to finish off the run with a... Are we doing on time?
You are at 106 RTA.
No, not bad. Yep. All right, so we're in the last area of the game. Just like that. We need this guy to cooperate a little bit. I want him to do a running attack, and he is cooperating. Thank you very much. And from here, it's cruising until Gwyn. And then we parry him twice, and we finish the game. Watch out for this guy. He has a really dangerous attack. It's not that one, but I'm rolling it for safety anyways. I'm not going to do that jump because it is very... It's asking for it during a GDQ run to die to that hole right there. You would normally do a slightly faster path by going around and jumping that hole, but I'm not silly.
I don't think I've seen anyone else die to that other than me.
I feel like I have.
I've definitely
and that like elevated the status to like, oh my god, this has happened twice now. That's a Pandora's box that we've opened. I can't be taking chances
when it happens
like
once, it starts happening a lot. Like as soon as it happens a single time.
Yeah, so here's Gwyn, Lord of Cinder. This one. Any grabbers? Place for bets? No. So you block that one. And
nice.
time.
Nice. GG.
Thank you. That's Dark Souls Prepared additional bosses, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with this run. Regal mentioned earlier that I'm not the hugest fan of preparing for marathons and the whole shebang, but I felt really good today. It was awesome being here. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Me and Regal, like I said, we have a lot of history with this route. This was the route that we've got plenty of world records in. I got my first world record in this run. We got sub 1 hour all bosses for the first time in this run, and nowadays the time is down to 58:38, I think. It was beaten a couple of days ago by Monkey.
Yeah,
and so
to Monkey.
I'm just super happy to have shown you this run, and
this is like awesome developing this route and how far it's come. Just all bosses in general has gone through so many iterations, and because there's so many ways to take out all the bosses in this game. You know, there's so many different routes you can use. That's why Dark Souls runners like to name their routes. This one, of course, called Bluetooth. The early iterations of this run, whenever the new Calamite strat was found, and how brutal it was to run because we had no idea what we were doing, because it was completely different than anything we had ran before for all bosses. And going through that whole process of optimizing it over the, like, I don't know, like a couple years, me and you and Androv coming up with strats all the time, that was like such a cool part of my speedrunning career.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And now, like, seeing where it is now is so cool. And Mario is the first person that ever got sub 1 hour in all bosses, the first person to do it. And that was like such a huge part of Dark Souls history. So thank you for sharing this run with us, Mario.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It was awesome.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to give yourself your shout outs? You want to tell everybody what you're doing? Where to find
you can follow me at twitch.tv/marionette with 2 A's. I've been running this on and off. I haven't been grinding as much as before for various reasons. Also getting into playing some other games like Hollow Knight once again. So yeah, you can find me there whenever I stream. But yeah. And if you enjoyed this run and you would like to learn about Dark Souls speedrunning, you can check the community out. We are a huge community. You can find all the Souls games there, and we're sure to have someone to help you out there with whatever you choose to run at Souls Speedruns in Discord.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you so much, Mario. Yeah, that was super fun. I'm really happy to have Mario on, but I think we've had our fill of Brazilian Dark Souls speedrunners for now, so we're gonna go on a little bit of a break from that and transitions to some other stuff.
Other nationalities.
Yeah, some other games. Coming up after this break in between runs, we have another really, really cool run from a game that I'm not really super familiar with, so I'm excited to see what it's all about. We have Bow, Path of the Teal Lotus. I hope I'm saying that correctly, the name of the game. Run by Visuals. It's going to be any percent, no major glitches. So stay tuned for that. I'm really excited to see what it's all about. Apparently, speaking of Hollow Knight, it's supposed to be at least kind of similar in the way. It's a Metroidvania. So I want to see what it's all about. But we'll be right back after this break. So stay tuned. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Game Over. This is going to be the second run of the show. For this run, we have a Metroidvania that I am very unfamiliar with, so I'm excited to see a speedrun of it tonight. Bow, Path of the Teal Lotus. It came out last year. The category is going to be any percent, no major glitches, run by Visuals. Visuals, you want to go ahead and take it away and explain what this game's about?
Yeah. So, hi, I'm Visuals. Bow is a Metroidvania that is taking very clear inspiration from games like Hollow Knight, games like Ori, games like Celeste, but it also has a very, very strong support of speedrunning in general. The devs, one of the developers was just on the AAPI Heritage Month celebration stream yesterday with Sawa doing a glitchless run, glitched run, unlimited run of Bow. So they take a lot of input from us, and they've changed the game a couple times, and I'll point out some of those things that they changed for us specifically to make the game even better to run, and that's so cool to me. And so it's basically just a Metroidvania, so very, very standard of run around, collect abilities to unlock new areas until you get to final area, beat game. Woo!
Sounds great. That's awesome to have some dev support as well. I can't relate. Can't relate to that.
But did you guys want to get started?
Yeah, whenever you're ready, just count us in whenever you're ready to go.
Cool. So whenever I select this middle save file, in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. One of the cool things about this game is that it has an in-game timer at the top right of the screen that is consistent and directly mirrored to live split. And so
cool.
If you wanted to have, our leaderboard is one leaderboard. So if you wanted to run it on PS5 or Switch, it would be the same timing method, and you would have the same advantages as PC. It's all loadless, doesn't run on the main menu. So very cool. With me, with us is Mr. Sir 71, my partner in crime, always my commentator. Hello.
Howdy.
He's going to be on my couch for SGDQ 2025, where I'll be running this same category, same game.
Congrats, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're one of the several runs that I've had on the show that right afterwards got into GDQ with this exact same run. That's happened to me multiple times now. So
I'm so excited to show this off. I love to get people into a game that I think deserves more attention, and I can't think of a game that I would love to push more than this one, especially after all the work that the devs have done to make this a better speedrun for us, and make it a more enjoyable experience. So you play as Bow. He's a little fox spirit. We just talked to Asahi, and he gave us our staff, our Bow staff. There's going to be a lot of quitting out to teleport back to shrines, which is our bench bonfire type of save point. Because the timer doesn't run on the main menu or on loads, even walking like 10 feet is faster to quit out. So you're going to see a lot of that. So Aussie basically told us, hey, I'll give you a bow staff, but you got to break this wall over to the right. And in order to do that, I have to upgrade your bow staff, and you need 10 bamboo to do that. So we went back over to the left, got our 10 bamboo, and now we're making our way back over to him. Don't worry about giant skelly boy in the back. He's not important.
Yep. So first ability, obviously we got our bow staff. We're also going to grab this tea kettle here. So if you look in the upper left of the screen, you've got the tea kettle, which is your mana, basically. You can use that to heal and cast spells later on. You've got your HP on the right of that, and you've got the money below that. So we got our bow staff here. The first thing you might have already noticed with the bow staff is when you hit stuff in the air, you actually get a double jump. You get this little teal glow around you, and then you can jump again. And the other thing you might be noticing is when you swing it on the ground, it actually swings really slow, and it also slows you down. So this game benefits being in the air a lot. So when you're in the air, you can swing it faster. And then to swing it even faster, you can change direction like you just did. So there's already a pretty high skill ceiling of just how fast can you swing the staff, basically. So it's a lot of fun. You're going to see it coming up in this fight right here.
Yeah, this game really, really tries to incentivize you to be in the air and do air combos. And you haven't even seen the full extent of like the rewards for doing so, because we're going to have one more that we're going to get here in like 2-3 minutes.
First boss of the game is a little unique. These first few bosses are, because you might see we're kind of pushing up off of the boss when we hit it a bunch of times, because you do get a little vertical boost from hitting stuff in the air, as well as the jump reset. Later on, we're going to find a way to just cancel that upwards momentum, and the fights are going to change irreparably. Second ability here.
Just to... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Got our bamboo bat, and you can basically just shoot stuff around. That's pretty much most things that are blue. You can shoot them around like that, and you do also get a jump reset off that. What were you saying?
I saw in the chat people were talking about either me being a Hollow Knight runner or winning Hollow Knight on the show. The funny thing is, Regal actually asked me to come on and run Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening was last year when I ran Hollow Knight True Ending in a race for SGDQ 2024, Bo, I had already been waiting for the Kickstarter of Bo and the game to release about 2 weeks after that event. And I was really excited about it. And I'd been running Hollow Knight for 7 years and had done a lot of the things that I wanted to do, and was kind of running out of like ways to push myself to continue grinding it. So I decided to take a break from Hollow Knight until I felt like I wanted to either return or Silksong exists maybe one day. But yeah, so
maybe
whenever I was asked to run Hollow Knight, I was like, I actually haven't run it in like 7 months, but I do have another game that I would love to show off if you wanna take a chance.
Yeah,
and
I'm excited to see it. I've been playing a lot of Hollow Knight casually myself, so it's like, man, I'd really like to get a Hollow Knight run on, but Visuals suggested this game, so I watched a little bit of the runs, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Sir, if you want to explain the tea boiling and the Daruma?
Sure, yeah. Here's the first time we see both of those. So the little red guy we shoot out, his name's Chomper, and he is a Daruma. Those are basically spells. We use, in this case, 3 of our tea to cast them. We can also use 5 tea to heal. But the Kodama Charcoal makes your tea boil when you have a combo in the air. So I think it's something like 8 hits in the air, and your tea will boil. And in that case, you'll actually power up your Daruma. So the Daruma have their power systems called eyes. So they got 1 eye, 2 eye, and 3 eyes. Right now we have 1 eye Chomper, and when our tea boils, it goes to 2 eyes. And later on, we can, that's temporary. Later on, we can upgrade him to 2 eyes, and then when our tea boils, he'll be at 3 eyes. And every time you go up a stage, it's just more power, maybe a bigger projectile, or entirely different effects for a few of them.
Yeah, the Jingu is what's going to be our main damage dealer once we get it around a third of the way through the run. That one is it's such a drastic change between having your tea boiling and not having your tea boiling that if you ever see me using it without having a tea boiling, it was either an accident or an emergency. You should never ever see me shoot it without the tea boiling, because that means something went wrong.
Yeah, it's for Jingu later, and you'll definitely notice it. So here we have the Armapillo collection. We're just bringing forward these little guys back to their master, Shimeji, who's a little mushroom guy we've talked to a few times. And this is, I'd say, probably the main part of the demo of the game. That was out, obviously, before the real game, and they had a speedrun competition for the demo, which was pretty cool. Yep, and you're looking at... Oh,
it worked. I can't believe that worked.
You're looking at, not me, the co-winner of that speedrun competition. I'm okay at this game, all right. Yeah, basically there was a glitch found that skipped a lot of the demo, including this section. And Biz and friends found that glitch and used it, and then there's an NMG, I guess, category as well. So, which
is actually funny because that means that I won I guess it would be called the glitch category for skipping the dash, and Sawa...
That's the only glitch category you'll ever run.
Yeah, well, yeah, and Sawa won the no major glitches, but now Sawa just did the glitch category yesterday for GDQ, and I'm doing the glitchless category, or no major glitches, whatever.
So, just as a quick question, how long is what's the time difference between the glitch versus glitchless category?
It's a couple minutes at the moment, but I've also done probably a couple hundred more runs of this category than Sawa has of that one.
More optimized.
So, yeah. I'm sure Sawa could go a lot faster if they put more time into it.
I see.
But it's probably about 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
Yep.
That would be my guess.
I think we'd be remiss at this junction not to mention there's been some heavy competition for the NMG world record from our buddy Nate in chat.
Shout out Nate.
He's in chat.
That'd be a cool username, Nate in chat.
Yeah.
That's not bad, yeah. Here's Armakiller. This boss is pretty difficult casually. It's kind of easy here if you can get enough damage in early. But basically, we just need to do a ton of damage those first 2 phases, and then bat all of these rocks towards him. These rocks are actually deterministic, or not even that, they're just scripted. Yeah. So pretty easy to just grab them every time, know exactly where they're going to be. And if you don't kill him shortly after where we just killed him, he starts doing some crazy stuff. It gets really hard. So
I'm actually really bad at dodging those attacks because I haven't had to since my casual playthrough. I don't even know how to do the normal casual version of the fight because it was so difficult.
Yeah, pretty much.
A lot of this, so there's a mechanic that you're about to see because it involves the dash that I discovered around, 4 months ago, that allowed us to do so much damage that we started killing bosses so quickly that we're not even seeing most of their mechanics anymore. We're skipping phases entirely or skipping attacks entirely. But so this dash is one of the cooler dashes I've ever experienced in a game. It can be interrupted at any point with your staff swing, so you can make it as short as you want. And then you can also interrupt it with a jump, and that does what you're seeing there, which is called a shining dash, where you get a bunch of horizontal momentum, and you can hold it for longer to go higher, or you can keep it as low to the ground as you can, and that's our main mode of movement right now.
That's a cool movement.
It's really rewarding, and also on top of that, I'm not bashing Hollow Knight or anything, but there are definitely sections where it's just see how optimally you can press the dash as soon as the dash comes up. But in this game, it's a lot of using your shine dashes and then hitting things in midair to give yourself another jump so that you can do more shine dashes, and it's just there's a lot you can do.
So would you say
very fun.
A lot of the difficulty in this game is based around the movement?
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of it's squeezing out as much movement as you can.
That does depend who you ask, though. If you ask a newer runner, they might not agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Just kind of slipping through the map.
Yeah, Shmoovement. I love that.
eventually we're going to get another ability. I think it's the next ability we get, and that actually introduced a new wrinkle on the Shine Dash that makes it even faster. And we just started doing that, or at least I just started doing it like a month ago. And we'll get there, but it actually made it even more tough and introduced more buttons to just dashing around.
Yeah. Not in a bad way.
Yeah, okay, no, it's sick. I love it, like having to do more than just spam the dash button.
Yep. Higher skill ceiling. This is the end of the demo, by the way. So we're about to see first new thing we saw when the game came out.
And one of the coolest sections of the whole game.
I don't know if y'all caught him breaking that candle. But he hit it 5 times. So what we're doing is dash interrupts with the staff. Basically, we can just spam, alternate, dash, and staff to just attack really fast. This is how we're canceling that vertical momentum, like I was saying earlier. Nice save. And we also got an Omamori, which, by the way, is like a charm. Same system as there is in a lot of games, I think. Which will multiply your damage when you do a staff interrupt. So that's going to be basically our main form of damage, other than Jingu when we get it later on in this round. Right now we have another Omori on, though. We've got Prosperity, which just magnets money to us, you know.
Gathering Swarm, if you're a Hollow Knight fan.
I think every game other than these two calls it magnet in some form.
Fair. So this whole area is just chock full of doing these like puzzles or like requirements in ways that the devs didn't expect. We basically like skipped the entire first section by going under the wall. We skipped over having to like put out the fires on the little lanterns because we just used shine dashes and bounced off of objects to like get up to areas where like they gave us a lot of freedom and just said go nuts. Like right there, you're supposed to turn that off. Oh, I didn't have to fight. And so a lot of it's like you're flying through the air. Give me something to hit in the air so I can do another shine dash so I can keep zooming.
Literally. This is Hashihime. She's sick because if you look at her arm, the tattoos, like, oh, well, she just fixed it. But most of the time, her tattoos don't move, even though her body does. It's really sick. It's like a parallax effect.
Is that what it's called? I love that.
I don't think so.
Oh. If you could have just said yes, I would have bought it.
I know what parallax is.
But yeah, it's like it's attached to the background, and her arm is like a window to the background, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. It's like a lot of Rocket League car designs like we'll do. And this
section looks tough. It is.
And you fall anywhere in that section, and you start over at the very beginning. Is one of the most brutal places you can mess up in the entire run.
Yeah, that's just a reset for at this level. All right, Hashihime boss fight. This just counts the number of hits you do. Unlike almost, I think every other fight in the game, which
I think every other game.
So regardless, we still are going to use Chomper because when you do the actual chomp, it does, I think, 3 hits. That was something I failed to mention earlier with the Darumas. A lot of them have a secondary effect when you press the button a second time or sometimes a third time. This one, it instead of flying across the screen, stops where it is and does like a big chomp that does a little more damage.
And I hope you like the...
Again.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope you like the screen time of Pyro-kun, because we're never going to use it. Like, if you ever see me use a non-boiling Jingu, it was probably an accident. Or there's been a couple times where I've meant to, but it's just emergency. If you ever see me use a Pyro, it was 100% an accident. I mean, I meant to click on something else and I missed.
I'd be shocked if you ever saw that.
So, making our way into the main hub.
Making our way downtown.
We're walking pretty fast.
It is. It's downtown. Yeah, here's the hub area. Lots of shops and whatnot. Pretty cool. Good buddy Asi again.
Unfortunately, we're not as cool as Sawa, who gets to just quit out to the menu here and then come back in and skip all this.
That'd be nice. I like the first cutscene at the end of the bridge, because first of all, it's really pretty. Second of all, I like a handbrake, especially after a fight. And then you get to this one, and you're like, I don't need that.
Oh, it's EWE. That's you.
Game Grumps reference, if anyone finds that familiar.
So our main
Soccer City?
our main objective here is to collect. Well, the main objective is to collect 5 of these tablets, but we have a couple other things. No, just one other thing that we need to do while we're here, which is grab this Kin Daruma. It can be used for damage, and it will be in a couple spots, but it is unbelievably useful in another way, and that is we can bounce off of it with a pogo. Whoa, do not buy Memori. That would be bad. And it doesn't refresh our jump, but it does refresh your dash, and that is just so ridiculously, like, borderline busted. Apparently in the demo, it used to, or in the like beta when they were testing, it used to refresh your jump too, and they were like, okay, no, that we can't do that. And I don't blame them at all, because even just refreshing our dash is unreal. It allows us to do stuff that we're not supposed to be able to do.
Absolutely. So collecting these tablets is actually part of a quest, and something really cool is that we didn't have to start the quest for the tablets to exist in the world, which I think is just awesome game design.
Yep.
Like sometimes you'll get a quest like that, and then you'll be like, okay, well, I didn't see one there, so I'm not going to go check there again. Not the case here. And it also happens to be really nice for speedrunning, because we don't want to go where the quest starts. There's nothing to do there.
We only want to go there once, and that's to turn it in. And it also happens to be the location of the 5th one. But we're going to make a pit stop over here in Megumi Mountain. That's going to be our next area. And the devs left this game. So when you get to city, you have 2 options. You can go left or right. And they expected most people to maybe feel out left, but notice that it's kind of blocked a little bit by like not being able to access certain areas normally, because you don't have certain abilities that you would get by going right. So they wanted to push you right, but speedrunners figured out that you're going to eventually have to go left, right. Like, you're going to have to go both sides twice. And instead of going left, right, or right, left, sorry, we figured out we could just go left, knock out the entire right side in one trip, and then go back to the left to finish it off. And they did make a change on the left side that allowed us to not reset like 70% of our runs. And I'll explain that once we get there.
Yep. Quick recap of our city tour, by the way. There's a Daruma shop where we can buy and upgrade our Daruma. There's a blacksmith where we can upgrade our staff. There is a ramen shop where we can upgrade our health. And there's a tea shop where we can upgrade our tea. We will see the Daruma shop again in this run, and that's about it. But something cool about this run in general and the world is that it's not really bad to get upgrades. I, for example, do get a tea upgrade, which increases the size of your kettle in any percent, and that helps me a lot, and it really doesn't hurt the time much at all.
I've said that even in world record pace or like attempt runs, I would actually be getting a tea upgrade if I could not go out of my way to buy it. It just, unfortunately, I don't have enough money. I'm normally barely able to afford all the things that I did just buy. Sometimes I'll have as low as like 8 extra money the first time I go. So otherwise, I think I could even make the like 20-second cutscene or whatever it is. I think I could make up for that by having a bigger tea kettle. Or at least it'd be close.
Sure. So we're in the first part of the run where it's a little tough to survive. We've got a couple arenas. This one's the first one. And if you played this game casually, you've probably died either here or in the next one. I know I did.
I used to die on both of these arenas, but specifically this second one coming up, it runs a lot.
Yeah.
And we couldn't have gotten a health upgrade yet. Like, we got that shield, which you can buy, but getting health upgrades requires an item that you have to go either left or right to get one, and they're called Lotus Seeds. You'll see one. Well, I won't be getting it, but I will have the option to have grabbed it here in just a second.
Tough here, right?
Oh, he's not low enough. That's fine. That's the goodbye.
Yep. It's one of the splits I fixed in this game. As well as the entire auto splitter.
So where does the game, it takes you to these like shrines whenever you quit out? Is that like your last save position?
Yes, yeah. There are areas where they hard save you.
Yeah.
We actually don't have a lot of, I can't think of any, the entirety of the castle of places where like those are good. Like we want the hard save.
Isn't that kind of how Hollow Knight works as well?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hollow Knight is a lot more than this one, but yes. I love this little platforming section because the platforming feels so good in this game.
Yeah. Whoops.
You're supposed to shoot the snowballs at the lanterns here so you can pogo the lanterns, but why would we do that? That sounds slow. Devin chat.
Really bad. Hey, what's up, Chris? So, well, we're about to praise the devs, so good timing. So this was the section. Yeah, now we can't. This section, what you're supposed to do here is you're supposed to have an ability called Grapple, which is very, very similar to Ori's Bash. And this thing that I'm bouncing off of, this drum in the middle, is able to be grappled through. So that's how you're supposed to get up into this. It's a sumo challenge. So you're trying to get your little fan at the bottom across, and you get it across by staying in the circle. Theirs goes across if they get in the circle, and you got to just try to keep them out. For speedrunners, it's very easy. It's basically just an auto splitter. And there's two of these. Well, since we come here first, we don't have grapple. So getting up in here into the circle was basically just you had to hope that one of these beetles swooped low enough to where you could hit them and get a double jump and then hit them again and then like get another double jump and then maybe hit the drum in the middle and then hope that you never fell out of it. And we basically told them that this is one of the very few parts of RNG like in the run was how low they swoop down whenever they spawn. And sometimes they wouldn't even like come down low enough in time for you to even win the sumo match, and you would just lose and have to start it all over, and that's just a reset. There's no way to recover from that.
Will this be a good time to do some announcements real quick also?
Yeah. I was just gonna say we told them that, and they added the drums at the bottom to allow us to just bounce in here because they knew that speedrunners come to this area first. So super grateful for that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes, have ad-free viewing, and chat with other subscribers during our replays. Also, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to check out the season's lineup and check out the schedule for an in-depth look at this week's runs. And back to you, Viz.
Yeah, finishing up the auto scroller here. Once our fan gets to the end, and then
Perfect.
skip the dialogue there. So this actually might be one of the hardest bosses in the run, and just to not die. And so we swapped our Omamori there to where now. Nice. I didn't swap to Ken. That's fine.
Yeah, we put on that dash interrupt with Omamori initiative. So we're doing a ton of damage every time we dash and then hit our staff to cancel that dash. You're going to see that on full display here in the air where we're just going to tank into the boss. He does have a hitbox that hurts us. But we don't care. Simple as.
Yep. He definitely his hitbox is rough, and those orbs that fly around, you only get a double jump off them if you down slash them. So that could be a little difficult if you fall and you're like trying to get back up to the top of the room. It can be really rough. So this boss it's hard to live. It's hard to live while doing like efficient damage. There's a lot that can go wrong there, especially with not having some of our tools that we're gonna have later.
Mm-hmm. And that was a prime example of us skipping a lot of cool attacks on the boss. He probably only did 50% of the mechanics that he's got. Pretty funny.
We were teaching this run to our friend the other day, and obviously, you know, they're still learning, so they're doing damage a lot slower. And he was doing attacks. We're like, wow, we really forgot that he has that attack. It's been so long since we've seen it.
I don't know how to tell you how to deal with that one. I usually don't see it.
Yeah. So we did get the hover, which is the ability I was talking about that we incorporate into our movement, into our main movement, because it allows us to, if you tap it right as you start the shine dash, it kind of cancels your vertical momentum. So it's a kind of a tight timing, and you have to be doing it like fairly quickly, but you can basically keep yourself, like get yourself down to the floor faster to do your next dash faster. So it just, as you can see, it kind of like pushes me down a little bit. So it actually adds up like a lot. I was skeptical when I first heard of this, and then I started getting better at it, and I was like, oh no, I'm actually shaving like a second off of a room. That's a lot.
I remember when I first heard of it, and I was like, oh, like, of course. That's a problem we've been trying to solve.
Right.
Is how to minimize that. Yeah, so here we got Jingu, and we're going to upgrade it right away, because One-Eye Jingu and Two-Eye Jingu are not of use to us most of the time.
That's just lighting tea on fire.
I don't know about that.
Pretty close, man.
So that concludes our first visit to the mountain, Megumi Mountain. Here we are on our way to right side Midori Forest. Nice little tea field on the way. And our friend Momo. Nothing bad would ever happen to her.
I'm never going to remember her name. I was waiting for you to say it.
You literally talked to her a second time and 100%.
I was waiting for you to say it because I still couldn't remember.
What's this guy's name?
That's awesome. Yeah, I know his name. I don't know the guy playing the flute though. I have no idea.
I think that's just like the monk or something like that.
Oh,
cool skip here.
Oh, it was gonna be fine, but I bailed.
Yeah, it was completely fine. So these little seeds grow into these plants with the bouncy leaves that you pogo on, and you can climb. We just skipped planting one entirely with a little Ken pogo.
Skip planting two, actually.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. We can downslash the pin to get an extra dash and get height.
Bernie says best girl Momo. He is 100% guy in chat. So
he's also
a lot for cutting out some grinding.
He's also incorrect because Mochi is better, but that's fine.
Mochi's best day then.
Oh, that's fair. Oh, why are you alive? What?
You missed your chomp, buddy.
Did I?
Yeah.
I actually. Yeah. Okay.
These foxes are so annoying. So every time we see one, we literally just chomp it immediately with our chomper.
Yeah, I guess I missed. I didn't see how that happened. That's fine.
And we did upgrade our chomper, by the way. I mentioned, so now it will be 2-eye chomper at a base level, and then when our tea is boiling, it'll be 3-eye.
3-eye actually gets rid of the secondary effect from pressing it again when it's in midair. It doesn't actually like stop anymore. It just sweeps the entire screen with a massive like chomper that just.
And it does more damage than the chomp effect on the 2-eye. So we just had a little quest there. Collect 3 music sheets. We're going to give them to this monk so he can play a little melody. Make our friend Asahi feel better because he's not feeling very well.
Also, 1, his name is Kiyoshi, and 2, it's another example. Yeah, another example of us being able to go do his quests before he asks us to do the quest, which is always nice.
Mm-hmm. And in return for saving his life, Asahi will pour us a cup of tea.
He will also always be our friend and never be like betray us, right? Like obviously.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He wouldn't do anything like that.
He's a great guy.
Oh,
You'll notice every time we drink this blue tea, we get a new ability.
You got a gun.
Except for when you talk to Momo. And that's like the whole...
Yeah, she makes a joke about that.
with Momo. Yeah, pretty cute. We used our spawn point on that shrine to go back to where we were before. Kenpo go to skip quite a bit of geometry there. And here we are going to grab a crystal mum petal. We did collect a resource earlier, the bamboo, to get Asahi to fix our staff. But this is the first one that we've collected since then. And there are a bunch of resources around the game. There's the teal ore, there's these crystal petals, there's
Vermilion crystals.
the red crystals, vermilion, thank you. And the spider silk. I knew there was another one. But you don't really see those in this round. So let's play them
This
out.
really reminds me a lot of Ori watching this movie.
Definitely. Yep.
Yep.
So
This is a funny little bit.
yeah, the first day that I ran this game, or that I played the game casually, Chris came into my stream and was watching me for a bit, and he was like, "Hey, by the way, if you hit the lantern at the front, they'll walk faster." And I was like, "Brother, I have no idea how long it would have taken me to figure that out." It's like, why would you hit it? I just don't know. But like, thank you.
Oh, is that
They walk a
the
lot
dev?
faster.
Yeah, the dev.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, that's cool.
they obviously like they prioritize, you know, speedrunning and like our opinion of it, especially because they know like we're gonna be the ones that are playing it for thousands of
A
hours.
lot, yeah.
Nice of him. Have we taken Vermilion Stranger yet? No, right?
No.
Yeah, no. Well, our quest in the city was to be able to talk to her. We will soon. Those little bowls, or not little, those big bowls we keep going past, are our little waypoints for fast travel.
We're just traveling fast like normal right now.
Yeah.
Oh no, we did.
With our
We
ability grapple.
went back to the city from mountain.
Ah. I had a lot of fun with the achievements in this game. I think they were a pretty good level of like challenging but doable.
Yeah. Fun fact, to get the one where you don't heal for the entire game, I played on keyboard back then, and I took the healing key off of my keyboard so I couldn't accidentally press it. Because I had a run where I did accidentally press it and didn't even register until like 20 minutes later. Here's Mochi. They are going to give us two abilities. This one being the Suki Dash, which, you know, Hollow Knight fans will know as the Shade Cloak. And then she's going to give it, or they're going to give us another ability here in just a second whenever we complete this little spider den area called the Mallet, which is very similar to like any downward ground slam, like Desolate Dive or whatever. I think this is one of the most fun movement sections to optimize. Oh, I say as I do that. You get to, we come in here to break these three nests with these like bombs, whatever they are. And two of them we shoot off screen. This one I'm going to shoot from right here.
This movement is
This
really
one.
cool.
Uh-huh. And these lineups are nothing to sneeze at here on those bomb shots. Pretty precise, pretty good.
It's like relaxing movement, like movement you can fall asleep to. It's so nice. Silky.
Yeah, smooth is how, yeah.
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 So we get the Mochi Mallet. And we are going to use our save point that we set back in right next to where we got the Suki Dash.
Next, we're going to take a quick detour back to the city through a little fun shortcut. And we're going to use that one crystal petal that we collected to upgrade our staff. So we're going to go... We're already using those dash interrupts to get a ton of hits in, as well as the bonus from the initiative. And now we're going to also just boost our base attack. And this is... we always got this staff upgrade, but it's so much bigger now that we are doing this staff interrupt attack.
Yeah, we always wondered if, like, oh, is this going to be like Hollow Knight, where upgrading the basic attack is not really worth it, and the basic attack just becomes a collection for, you know, mana or soul or tea in this case, and the Daruma is like the main thing dealing damage. But we realized, especially with this new damage tech, like, we were probably not that close to getting rid of this staff upgrade before. We are nowhere close to it now. It's never going anywhere. The staff does so much damage. The Jingu, yeah, we're talking about getting rid of Jingu and just doing staff damage.
Yeah. I don't know about talking, but we gave it some good thought.
Well, I mean, because it's not getting rid of Jingu to no Darumas, it's getting rid of Jingu and doing chompers, which, you know, it's not terrible, but I still think Jingu's worth it.
Yeah, we gave it a good shake.
Cool trick here.
We're grabbing the little, dash and jump reset off of the projectiles that are getting shot at us. And when you hit the ground out of a mallet slam, you can dash directly out of it. And you can also just swing your staff right away to just get control instead of having a little splash animation. So what we were doing there is we were malleting to spin the thing, dashing out of it so we don't fly down to the ground, and then jumping back up onto the wheel. Pretty fun little tech. And we have a fully different way of tackling the next wheel, which will be all the way at the end of the game, so you'll forget this comment. Which is similar to what we just did, actually. Another thing you can do to cancel a mallet is to pause and unpause.
Yep.
Comes the next big boss fight. This was also incredibly hard. Still is, actually. The skill ceiling has just gone up very high to where it's not so hard for some people.
Honestly, the hardest part is in the very beginning, because we have a tech called, I mean, it doesn't really have a name, it's just a fake double jump, is what I call it. But it's essentially, if you press jump and then jump again fast enough, you can kind of get this, like, that. There we go.
Just a tiny bit more height. And then we do a Kenpogo as well, so we can just jump right up to the boss instead of using these little, like, pink mist buckets. And that's your first phase, or two, depending. It's hard to overstate how different that looks from any playthrough you'll ever see.
We're doing so much damage. It's like, our DPS is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
But even then, like, one wrong, like, shine dash right there, and I just fall, and then it can just spiral out of control, and all of a sudden I'm dead.
She hits a phase. Yep. Pretty tough with 4 HP, unless you just kill it immediately.
It's one of those things where it's just a balancing act of, like, it's easy when nothing goes wrong, but as soon as one thing goes wrong, all of a sudden everything goes wrong.
Mm-hmm. There's some cool manip in this room where we ride this left wall so an enemy doesn't pop out of it and shoot us. And then we also kind of just, like, get in that little flying thing's face so it doesn't shoot us either.
We kind of pump fake at him, like, what?
Yeah. If anything hits our passenger on that flight, we have to restart from the beginning of it. So that's a huge time loss.
So we have
and
the
lore
wedding
that we've kind of been moving through is a wedding. we helped the bride get there, and we just found the groom.
Yeah, he's we won't question why he was off exploring and getting himself captured on his wedding day. I'm sure he had his reasons.
You never heard of a bachelor party?
This is the Hangover Fox edition, I guess.
Things go really wrong, you have to be saved.
Yeah. She's not too happy about it, but that's okay. He got here. So they give us the Kitsune Kafuda, and then it scrolls up to reveal our friend Kitsura, who is the only optional boss in the game. You would see that in 100%, but boss is super cool. And that is where we talked about where we can go ahead and do the break.
Yeah. So we are going to go take our short scheduled break for the run. So give us a few minutes, maybe like 6 to 8 minutes or so. We're going to go take a quick break. Y'all can go get a snack, get up, stretch, take care of yourself. But we'll be right back and check out the rest of this really cool run by Visuals. So stick around. We'll be right back, y'all. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Game Over. We are currently in the middle of a really cool run, a Metroidvania called Bow, Path of the Teal Lotus, run by Visuals. Visuals, you want to go ahead and take it back and get us back into the run, count us back in?
Yep. So I'm getting into the hard stuff now.
All right.
So we'll go 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Yeah, this is where 80% of my runs die.
I mean, it looked hard already, honestly. So,
We're about to go to the ice caverns, and there's 2 sides to the east trial and the west trial, and oh boy, they just refuse to go well. My world record that I just got a couple days ago was the first time where like they actually went like surprisingly well, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yep. Watched a lot of minus 20 paces die there the last couple weeks, so that's how she goes.
So we want to hit this lever.
A skip here.
Yeah, off screen. If you don't get that, you just got to go fly over there and hit it manually, but we can hit it with the snowball if we avoid the little floating enemies. Here's Sir's favorite cutscene.
Yeah.
So what makes, I guess the main part that makes West Trial so difficult is we have 4 health, and in order to do optimally, we need to take 2 hits on purpose, and that's assuming we don't get hit anywhere else. And then we have a boss fight right after that with 2 health, and 80% of the time we take a hit in the beginning of the fight. So it can just very easily snowball out of control.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's okay.
Yeah.
But that also means...
no, sorry. Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, I remember watching the run, and this part looked really, really tough. That's all I would say.
The main part that now sucks is this entire area is a global cycle, which means all of my enemies are now going to be in weird spots. I have a very, very consistent strat for when I don't miss that, but I did miss that. So now we have to adjust. We need these guys to, not only we need them to hit walls and like explode, we need to not be near the explosion when it happens because they have a splash damage like explosion.
It's like surprisingly big.
Yeah. We have to avoid these icicles while also using some to get jumps so that we can do shine dashes like that. That's good. I like that. He's in a weird spot. That's okay. He's in a much less okay spot. Okay, that's fine.
So something that you saw him try to do on the first little, break the bags to move on section, these guys, break the target, was that he tried to tank damage as he broke the last one, which he's going to do again here. Ooh. And that allows us to skip the cutscene of the door opening, which is pretty long, and you're just frozen there. And you're going to see a lot more of that later on towards the end of the run.
Like, that wasn't even the worst West Trial that I've ever had, and I lost 17 and a half seconds to my gold. Like, it just has to go perfect, or you're losing a ton of time. The way it goes.
Happens.
So cool. cool looking boss.
There's the
What-
Jingu
what-
that I
one
didn't
thing
want to
I-
use.
Yep. That was the 2-eye Jingu on accident. It's been so fun to watch the bosses evolve as we got faster and got more damage. Because these fights are, like, all of them just unrecognizable to the first, let's say, 6 months of the game. Pretty cool.
Yep. Getting our new ability here.
Stability,
Yep. Good.
ice picks. This will let us grab the walls, as well as dash up the walls. Pretty cool. So when we're touching the wall, you'll just kind of slide down the wall instead of falling. If you hold towards the wall, like just with your direction, it will stay in place, which is a pretty cool mechanic. And if you press the wall dash button, you'll zoom up the wall, and it's pretty cool.
And this area coming up is probably the coolest movement in the game when it goes well. We'll see. That's pending. We'll see how well it goes.
And the reason, by the way, that we had to do all of the quest trial without refreshing our HP at the shrine that was right next to us is that we wanted to quit down to the bottom here. And that's also a development from the beginning of our speedrunning. You know, at first we would take that shrine, but it saves like 35, 40 seconds not to, so. Same thing on this side. We're not healing, as my good friend would say. It's visuals.
Can't get it. That's fine. Wanted to go for a cycle there, but I didn't get it. That's okay.
Yeah, this looks hard.
It's a lot of fun.
Like, I know that, like, it's a speed run, so it's going to be hard, but just, like, I can imagine doing this casually would be, like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
tough.
They're called trials for a reason.
Oh, really? Okay, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's cool is in the 100%, well, some people would call it cool. I call it cool. In the 100% category, there's a quest to go through, like, the second half of this area and then, like, the first half of West Trial.
It's so close.
With a fragile egg that breaks if it takes damage. And you need to do that for a quest. So that's, I think it's
Like part of the
interesting.
100% run.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we, you know, it would be optimal to just grab that the first time through. Then you have to do a boss with it. And it's like, that's probably going to happen eventually.
Yeah, at some point, somebody
We're
will
gonna get
have to
there.
do that. Not yet, but, you
Yeah.
know, eventually.
Yep. I'm scared of Nate going over to 100% because he's going to push me to have to do it. I don't want to. Not taking
this
damage in
category
this
is very
fight
competitive.
is going to be hard.
Yep. And all these bosses are kind of, I guess, kept secret in your casual playthrough. Like, they don't really imply that there's a boss at the end of the West Trial at all. And then when you get here, you're like, oh, it's going to be here. And then it's the same boss, but there's another one. It's pretty sick. You'll never guess what comes next.
Oh, I have a guess.
Bernie says, give me a week on the 100%.
How long is the 100% run?
In-game time, hour 36,
Okay.
35? What, I don't remember what I got it to.
Cut that part out in the recording. So the mask that statue's wearing, I hear, it's called a Daitenki.
He loves pointing out that fact. We've done this run so many times together because of like 80% submission. Then we did the 100% submission for GDQ like 4 times because of various reasons of it going wrong. So we like have all these things that we do on every single run.
Is there going to be 3? Yeah, there's 3.
Yeah,
There's 3. He's wearing the mask.
All right, let's get it.
Oh, the title card doesn't say Daitengu, but that's his name. This one does have a hitbox, I think.
There we go.
Nice. Some of our
DPS
buddies in
raging.
chat are referencing another speedrun that we do, co-op run. That's his name.
So this is only the third Omamori that we're going to get, but we are going to use it. Basically, we've only used the one that makes the money fly, like, follow us. We have the one that makes when we interrupt our dash, it does extra damage, and then we got that one, which makes it where when we're at full health, our staff does extra damage, and we're going to put that on here in a bit. We'll use it at the very end.
Prosperity, Initiative, and Serenity, respectively. City looks a little different.
Oh, we didn't get to see the dog
Sounds a
before.
little
There's the dog.
Doggy.
Puppy.
Oh.
Unfortunately,
Oh no!
gone puppy.
No!
The first time you come to city, the dog is hanging out like right below where we are right now, and you can walk over and pet him.
Heartbreaking.
And you can also pet the big fox, that the optional boss, after you beat it. Spoiler alert. But if you're here, then there's a lot of spoilers, so I don't know what to tell you. But I think we'll see the dog again somewhere. Well, we won't in the speedrun, but if you play the game, you will.
The game that I speedrun, everybody loves the dog boss, but the speedrunners hate the dog because the dog is super annoying. So
What game is that?
everybody gets it's Dark Souls. Everybody gets sad when Sif dies. But the speedrunners are like, man, this boss is annoying.
So this fight has some pretty major sequence breaks coming up here. So first of all, not a major one, but we do a little skip around the left side of the skeleton instead of kind of, platforming the way we're supposed to at all.
Yep.
2 skips, really. But now when we get to the bottom here, so basically you do that, smash his head once, and then we're supposed to climb the skeleton 2 more times so that we hit his head 3 times. But if you don't touch the ground at all while you're down here, and then take damage, that's a hazard respawn, and our last spot
that's cool.
is up here.
Yeah,
pretty sick. Pretty sick. Viz found the skip, and Bernie refined it to save some more time by making a respawn this top left section here.
I wanted it. So I ran Hollow Knight for 7 years, and I have like a third of a credit on one tiny little speedrun tech. And then I run this game for like 4 months, 5 months, and I discovered 2 of the biggest things in the run. It's like, cool, man. That's fine.
I mean, you and Nate individually probably have twice the hours of any other runner, so...
I probably
player.
still have the most most hours in Hollow Knight.
Maybe. All right, we used our Kitsune Kifuda to steal the Gachakuro. Moving on. That was, by the way, the skeleton we saw at the beginning of the game. I don't know if you made that connection, but
Yeah, you told me not to worry about him.
yeah, you actually were supposed
Yeah, I'd
to
take care of him.
worry
Don't
about it. Oh,
No, he's
yeah,
gone,
you're right.
dude. It's not
You're right.
not even important. So here we have the castle that we called Palace for I don't know how long. We also have
still
everybody
new.
still calling the floors like floor 1, 2, and 3 when we are clearly on the first floor right now and going up an elevator to the second floor. Fernie, I'm never backing down from this. This is floor 2. I'm never calling it floor 1. I don't care.
In Europe,
never commenting on
they
this.
call floor 1. They call it floor 0.
Ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So the second floor is the first floor, and it confuses me.
Do you
all
want
the
to
time.
let Europe win? Is the real question.
No, I call it the second floor. I can't. I use Celsius and meters and all that stuff, but I will not call it the first floor when it's.
That's what I like to hear. I'm in the same exact boat. Love all that metric. Not calling the second floor the first floor is not gonna happen. So this I was actually so scared when playing this game casually because I was so worried about how difficult this castle was going to be. But then we discovered that after every time you activate one of the beams on the side, you can just quit and it'll put you back in the middle and the beam will still be active, which means that we get full health and T in between every half floor. And that makes this so much easier. Not easy, but like the strats are still hard, but we don't have to carry health throughout the whole thing, which would be a nightmare.
Wait, there's a Roman numeral on the elevator? Hold on. We're about to solve this forever.
Oh,
This is
no.
floor 2. It's the ground floor. It's floor 0.
No!
GG.
I don't know whether to stick my heels in or... I'll take that under advisement. I don't know about that one.
It's canon, man.
I don't know. I might have seen it. Hey, Chris, can you do me a big solid, buddy? Can you do me a real big solid? Version 1.1.9, please. I'm begging you.
And
So-
at the end of each of these floors, too, we are taking advantage of the taking damage to avoid the long cutscene here, as well as the save quit. What were you saying?
God, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. Anyways, yeah, these sections are actually like shockingly hard to like execute fast because you just have like the mask itself is shooting out little beams and like the rotating like satellite masks also have a hitbox and you have arrows coming in from the side and just a lot of things that can hit you and you need to take damage at the very end. So just it's a lot going on. Like that. Oh, I don't have Jingu on. That's okay.
I always forget to put Jingu on there.
I'm gonna blame Chris for distracting me.
Yeah, he said but, and now Liz is staring at the chat.
No! I tried to get in the beam and missed. That's okay.
Oh, they're taking it into consideration.
Let's go.
No, we don't have to mod it. They're gonna patch it with only that change.
Patch notes fixing the elevator numbers because Fizz threw a hissy fit.
Fixing is crazy.
All right, so I didn't mean to dash that way. That's okay. We have the hardest trick in the run here. It's either this or the bridge skip, but I'd say they're pretty comparable.
I'd say bridge skip, and it also saves a lot more time than this, I think.
That's true.
They're probably comparable, actually.
I guess it depends on how fast you can do the candles.
Yeah.
But we are going to... No, I wanted to be cool. That's okay. We still got it.
I want you to be cool, too.
Yeah, you can get up there without taking damage, and it's more optimal, but you can also get up there by just hitting the top of those. But, like, if I hit anywhere, like, lower on those spikes by, like, at all, like, barely, it would have just not spawned me up there.
Yeah.
But still got most of it.
I'm guessing this is another trial because this also looks extremely hard.
It is pretty difficult.
Yeah, this is, it's endgame, so
Yeah.
gotta prove yourself before you can fight the final boss. I mean, the what? Till you can get to the end of the game.
Final boss is...
Yeah.
So remember whenever we said in Burrows that there was like a wheel and we had to like slam down on it to like spin it? This is going to be that, but we don't have a way to, or at least any good way, to have a jump. Like we don't have anything to bounce off of to give ourselves like our midair double jump. So instead, we're going to do this.
So we're pausing and unpausing
yeah.
to stop our mallet, but then we are also spamming the hover button because for some reason you fall slower when you're like spamming it instead of just holding it. And so that way we're stopping our fall and then we're staying high enough to clip back up through the floor when the floor exists again. It's pretty cool.
And that saves quite a bit of time.
That's cool.
Pretty cool. I still think that's like just faster in burrows, but I've never cared less about a take I have as far as tech goes.
I really love this elevator. I hope nothing bad happens to it.
It's a cool elevator. It's got a nice little axolotl in it. Who has a parasocial relationship with the elevator.
I'm not yucking his yum, man. He can do whatever he wants.
The axolotl's name is Kirei.
I did know that one, actually. Oh no, elevator's gone.
Oh no.
I'm sure Kirei is fine.
Yeah, those are some cool foxes. And a monkey.
Oh no, it's Ozzy! So,
oh, he's doing the steering wheel.
if you've ever seen or played Celeste, this might look a little familiar.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah.
This will be the hardest platforming section in the whole run. For that reason, I love this section. Kirei is an Akaname.
Shout out to OJ for discovering this skip.
Is that also a kind of salamander, Chris? Gotta be.
So you're supposed to kill that mask like you do the other ones, and then it puts the wind stream on the left side of that room so you can get up to there. But if you just go to that wall on the right and then shine dash off of it and hit Aussie, you can just get up there early.
Pretty cool.
I knew it.
You also notice there's a lot more than 2 stops for this little circle that we're hitting here. If you're just sick nasty with it, you don't need all those.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'll notice the same thing right here. All right, no more shenanigans. We'll follow the rules from here on out. Kind of.
There's Aussie. One of the most fun, I love Ori's chase sequences, and this game has the Hashihime bridge sequence that feels like that, and then it also has that feels like the battle and chase sequence.
Yeah. I like all of the influences this game has managed to mash together.
Same, yeah.
It almost kind of wears its influences on its sleeve in a good way.
Yep. In a great way. All right, here is our final boss fight, Sakura Shogun. This is the monkey I was talking about. Our focus is through this fight, get a ton of dash interrupts, fire off Jingus when we can, and try to stay at full health if we can, not at the expense of doing damage, but just to, heal when we're allowed to. Because we do have the Serenity Omamori on, as well as the Initiative Omamori for both of those damage boosts. When we switch the phase here, if you cast a Jingu late enough, it'll wait until the next phase starts to do the damage, which is very good.
Whew.
Wow.
Yeah,
That was a good phase.
I've been getting that today. I don't know why. I'll take it though.
World record ends in 1 minute from now, by the way.
And there's still over a minute on this boss fight.
I must say, I'm guessing this is probably not on base.
Nah. Oh, that's okay. Rude, but not. It's okay.
You jinxed it.
Yeah. Come on.
So I found out literally yesterday. Oh, it's not
That's
great,
fine.
huh?
That's okay.
What I was going to say is that even at this juncture, you want to stay at full health because there's actually a phase that we can not push in this section, which is going to be where he spawns these clones, and we still got it. Never mind. I guess because of the Jingu that we got off.
is that, and yeah, it's just built different, you know.
Clean damage. Yeah. Fair enough.
I think I just golded that, by the way.
Wouldn't be surprised.
If I don't mess up the little grapples here. Yep.
Mapping out the order of those was a fun little challenge.
4.6 second gold, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's done a few runs. His golds are pretty good.
This is run number 599. Of course, they didn't all get here, but whatever.
Yeah.
So we have one final challenge. There is a skip at the end. It's probably like a top 4 or 5 hard skip in the run. And it will waste a ton of time.
The dog, you can't hit it.
That's not true. We're not going to do that.
That's pretty true. That's true. I think that's true. Sad.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Pretty precise skip there. Pretty awesome skip. It's cool that there's something after the final boss.
And time.
Still like, oh, you can't celebrate yet. Time.
Nice.
Sorry. Whew. So yeah, that is Path the Teal Lotus 80%. Definitely huge shout out to the devs for a lot of the working with us and helping us make this like a really fun speedrun, because I think it's already a really fun casual game. But
it looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm obviously a big fan.
And that's also like always cool when a dev team supports the speedrunning community.
Yeah, for sure. And they like their demo. Actually, I didn't even get a chance to explain, but like in the demo speedrun competition, the in-game timer here was on the top right, and I was like, oh, that's so cool that we can have like an accurate in-game timer.
Yeah,
like to the 100th, and it's like exactly accurate with live split. But then when the full game came out, the timer was gone because they only included it for the demo or like the speedrun competition. They were like, oh, we didn't know
and
that,
it also just
people would want it. And
it means that new runners don't have to go through the trouble.
We didn't know that
installing
people
live
want
split.
it.
Just adding
and so when I brought that up, they were like, "Oh,
lower tier of buy-in and in terms of effort is such a big deal for speedrunning. Making it accessible is really nice, even if you're on PC and you can have live split.
Like potential roadblock that you don't want."
The run's over.
Yeah, just so we can do proper outro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was wondering if that was on my end because I was getting a little hiccup
For sure.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw that. Interesting.
It's okay. We got some extra time in between for the next show. Yeah, true. True. Yeah.
True.
Oh, you can move around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought that was cool.
Yeah, you can do that.
True.
You can do that.
Oh, that's fair. Stop streaming. I wonder if it's also the game, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Interesting. But yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so yeah, please, if you guys are interested, check out Bo. It is so much fun casually, just especially once you get the dash, you just get to zoom around and it's very freeing. And the speedrun is very, very fun. I made a full comprehensive guide for it. If you wanted to check out any percent NMG, I think it's a blast. And I'm always available to help if you wanted to learn, you wanted help with anything. So, and also everybody in the Discord is super nice. So, if you want, I do runs of this game basically every day at twitch.tv/visualstv. And yeah, follow me at Blue Sky, Twitter, whatever, YouTube. Just search Visuals with a Y.
Okay. Do you want to give your shout outs, Mr. Sir?
Sir?
Yeah, sure. You can find me at the username on the screen. Everywhere. Not going to push anything too hard, but yeah, I'm around. I stream.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and for doing that show, doing that great run, and the awesome commentary. That was really interesting, and that game looks really, really cool. The combination of like the three games that comes to mind is Celeste, Ori, and Hollow Knight. It just like bleeds those games like right out at me the whole time, and some of the movement was like really, really interesting to see. I can imagine if you get like really good at this game, it just feels so good to run through the levels like full speed. Yeah.
It's so rewarding. Like it, and especially like one very small thing real quick is just the fact that if you wanted to start off with like extra health upgrades, extra T upgrades, they're both in the city and like very accessible. And so like you're not losing minutes at a time to to go pick those up. So you can definitely have like a bit of a safety
accessibility
net for a while until
good.
you get more comfortable.
But that's going to be the show for today. That's going to be game over for the week, as you could say. Come back in 2 weeks from now on Mondays. We are going to be here every other Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you want to check us out, we'll be back in just a couple weeks on May 19th for our next show. That was 2 really cool runs tonight. We had some Dark Souls all bosses. We had a game that I am very unfamiliar with, but I was very impressed by, Bo, Path of the Teal Lotus. So thank you so much to the runners tonight. That was awesome. And make sure you stay tuned afterwards because we have more speed runs coming up after this. We have Think Fast coming up, so stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for watching this week. All right, good night, y'all.